All right, well, that ending sucked. The Padres, they get walked off by the Cardinals tonight 4-3. Nolan Arenado was the guy that ended up coming through there with that last hit. That ending was rough. I mean, I'll get to the Padres part of it, but Robert Suarez gets the first couple of outs, and he was doing really good. 101, hitting the dot, bottom corner of his bottom outside part of a zone to Carpenter. Um, Velocity obviously was there. Like, it was looking good. And the two hits that he gave up there in the bottom of the ninth here to Wynn and Scott, I wasn't that mad with those pitches. I mean, Mason Wynn, those two guys right there, Wynn and Scott specifically, they're just trying to make contact, put the ball in play. It's 100 miles per hour, and they were able to find holes there. The the one I'm more irritated with was Arenado because that pitch was middle. Um, but with Robert Suarez, he's been so good this year that some of these outings are gonna happen. Like, you're not gonna have a great outing every time out, and he still got the first couple of outs. But when we want to hold the guys accountable, obviously, yeah, he didn't do his job good enough tonight. But what I really look at this game as is the Padres, they had their opportunities. And I don't want to solely put this on Robert Suarez. The offense tonight, would they go? 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position, left 10 guys on base. And a big situation came there in that top of the ninth inning where Higgy has the homer, comes back to tie it up. Manny, by the way, great defensive play I think he made in the eighth inning, going in front of the Padre dugout there with sliding catch. Yes, Ryan Helsley was nasty, but Arise gets the double, barely gets it inside the left field line there. And so you have a runner on second base with nobody out. And you have Tyler Wade pinch run for Arise. So you already have speed there. Why do you need that guy to get to third base and sacrifice Jurickson Profar? I don't know if Profar made the call on that. Remember, before he hit that, I think it was the game tying home run, that last homestand, before there was the walk-off. I mean, he tried to bunt, right? He pulled the bunt back, and then later that at bat, he ended up homering. And guys in the dugout, they were wondering when Profar was doing that, like, why was he doing that? Swing the bat. And you know, today is that same thing where this time he actually did lay down the bunt. It was a good bunt. Yeah. I personally was not super irritated when that happened, to be honest, because Crony was coming up next, and then you had Manny after that. Like, one of them come through with a hit, Crony get a ball into the outfield, something, and it just didn't happen. But looking back on it, yeah, I wouldn't have liked, or excuse me, I would have liked Profar to not bunt in that situation. When you have a speedy runner at second base, it's not like, I don't want to single out a super slow runner or anything, but it's not like a slow runner was at second base, and it's like, yeah, we got to get him to third here. A base hit would have scored Tyler Wade. And Jurickson Profar, do I need to go back and read off the splits? I think entering the Cardinals series that I put out earlier this week, Profar with runners in scoring position. I put it out. I'll go find it. Here it is. With runners in scoring position, I put this out on the 26th, so a couple days ago. 355 average, 461 on base, 570 slug, 1031 OPS. With men on, he's hitting 325. Leighton close, 444. So he's the Padres' best hitter in those situations. He's one of the best hitters in baseball, I would imagine, in those situations. So yeah, I would have liked him to swing the bat, and you get 3 opportunities with the runner in scoring position. You get Profar, you get Crony, and you get Manny, instead of getting 2 opportunities, again, with a speedy guy on third base. Yeah, just I know it's in hindsight, and it's easy to say now. And yeah, for some reason, I didn't have that, pissed off reaction in the moment. I looked at it like, man, that's a good bunt. But yeah, right now, yeah, it's irritating that happened. But Schilt has said in the past, I think, that he trusts his guys. He's going to let them play their game. If I'm the Padres, I don't think that I call for Profar to be bunting there, so I assumed that that was on Profar. Obviously, didn't end up working out there because Manny couldn't come through, Crony struck out. Now look, those again, Helsley was nasty. He really was. Um, yeah. And then the ninth comes around and sometimes it's gonna happen with scorers. But for me, again, I put this more on the guys not being able to come through with runners in scoring position tonight and leaving double digits on base, 10 guys on base. I'll give credit to them continuing to fight, right? They get down and Higgy hits the game tying homer. It's like, yeah, of course they're gonna come back. They come back and tie this game. But again, just couldn't take advantage enough of the opportunities that they had with runners in scoring position. Jackson Merrill, we're so used to him coming through, and he struck out. I think that was in the eighth inning. Yeah, top of the eighth. That wasn't with the runner in scoring position, but he struck out to lead off, that eighth. And if he would have got on base, or Solano, he pinch hit, if he would have got on base, Higgy has the homer. That's 2 runs right there. Game would have been a little bit different there. Um, that's just late in the game, though. That's not even some of the opportunities that they had earlier in the game. And then Joe, yeah, wasn't the outing that he had, that Friday night, but he still was able to grind through this and keep the Padres in the game. He had that one bad inning where he gave up all 3 of his runs, but it's still a quality start. I mean, he's still not fully like no limits on him, and he still went 6 innings. He only walked 1 guy. Strikeouts weren't up, only 3 punch outs, but he still kept the Padres in the game, and obviously they were in the game because they went back and tied it. And again, they had a lot of opportunities tonight to come through. Only 1 double. No, that was fielding. My bad. How many double plays did they ground into? No double plays, I don't think, right? Yeah. But Merrill, Peralta, Profar, and Manny left in scoring position at either once or a couple of times tonight. So that's really it. But more thoughts tomorrow on the live show. Not immediately after the game, but tomorrow night, tomorrow evening, we'll go live to talk about this series and then what's coming up in Tampa.